Back to the Kevin Durant ultimatum. Durant and the Nets owner Joe Tsai met in London recently, and Kevin Durant reiterated his desire to be traded. Sources confirm he suggested the franchise needed to choose between him and coach Steve Nash and general manager Sean Marks. Tsai went to Twitter and expressed his support for his coach and his GM. JWill joins us here in the studio.
It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. That's my take.
And I quote, What do you make of this latest now part of this soap opera that's happening there in Brooklyn?
Well, just because you make an ultimatum doesn't mean that I need to abide by it.
Right.
And that's first and foremost. And this to me is Kevin Durant saying, hey, I know something that you're not willing to do, and I want to be traded. So if I were Joe Tsai, in my opinion, I would call KD's bluff. Because at the end of the day, I think KD loves the game of basketball, and I'm curious to see to what extent KD will willing to go through in order to not be on this basketball team. I might find middle ground with Steve Nash to a degree. I might say, hey, let's find a way to talk this out. You know, is that Steve Nash, and who are the better other candidates that you can bring to the table for Steve Nash? But at the end of the day, I will call KD's bluff because I don't think you're going to get anything on the market equivalent to the value that KD would have as being the best player in basketball right now. I don't.
Mon? I mean,
Daryl Morey and Ben Simmons have played this game before.
Does this not, though, create the most uncomfortable place, which is training camp, where I'm walking in the gym and, oh, here comes the guy that tried to get me fired. Now I got to play nice with you?
I think that's bigger in our minds. We're going to go play basketball, and so eventually you roll the balls out and you get after it. It just comes down to basketball. But to your point, Jay, I don't think that this would happen, but I do think it's something worth exploring. And here's why. You're not going to get what you want in terms of KD on the trade market, right? He has shown that he's willing to show up and be reliable. I said this to you earlier, Han. I think we've forgotten how this team looked circa December before he was injured and the way that he was putting together an MVP caliber type of year and was carrying a roster that did not include Kyrie Irving. He's not a guy that comes around every year. It's something that you at least explore in my mind because nobody is coming to the arena to see Sean Marks or Steve Nash. And so to me, it may be a non-starter, but I think if we're to believe reports that this meeting was as professional and honest as it is projected, then who's to say that a relationship can't exist between Tsai and KD that would move this team forward?
Well, my point on this whole thing is Sean Marks is the guy that's actually organized this team to get them to the point where on paper they are a title contender. So look, at the end of the day, Kevin Durant has co-signed a lot. It may not have been his voice, but trust me, it's going through Kevin Durant for all these decisions. So let's all have accountability. That's why I said I might be willing to find middle ground on Steve Nash. You know, first time head coaching experience with KD and Kyrie trying to win a championship. Sean Marks, no, but also come to the table with who are better suitable candidates that can replace Steve Nash that you will listen to help you win a championship.
Okay, I got you maybe on a compromise. I just think to me the idea that all of a sudden we're clutching our pearls because we've gone now to the owner is ridiculous when we have been building to this point in this league for however long.
You are ceding power to the players if you do this.
Bro, we're not just any player though, y'all. Come on. This is not just any guy.
I'm on your side. There's middle ground.
And
I think we can find middle ground.
Is it ceding power or is it collaborating?
Collaborate. Get these guys fired is not. Fire these guys is not a collaboration, though. I don't understand it.
I don't. Right. The power play.
It has to be resolved somehow, some way. How does it get resolved, Jay? Does it get resolved by just simply saying we all got to work together, we all got to figure it out? Because Joe Tsai just said, I'm not getting rid of my front office.
Oh, he didn't say that.
Thank you. He didn't quite say that. He didn't quite say that.
Do you want to read the tweet again? Can we put the tweet back up on the board?
Please put the tweet up.
The
production, please.
Our front office and coaching staff have my support. We will make decisions in the best interest of the Brooklyn Nets.
Can you read that last line one more time?
We will make decisions in the best interest of the Brooklyn Nets.
Okay.
So, the best interest of the Brooklyn Nets is to win a championship. How you go about doing that is ultimately the big question that we have to ask. So all I'm saying to you is there might be wiggle room there. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to acquiesce to a player all the way. There's middle ground. You have to find that middle ground and collaborate.
Where's Bontemps? See, I told you the door's still open. Where's Bontemps?
So that's how you're leaving it. Is there a scenario where Kevin Durant plays for the Nets this season? Do you see it still as that's the only option, only real option for him not necessarily the
I'm
Nets.
drawing. You see that line I just
Oh, I
drew?
was like, what just happened?
That's the line I'm drawing. So what I'm saying to you is, people are saying, well, the market isn't the market what it was for Rudy Gobert. I'm like, well, okay, are we going to have that same kind of narrative when it comes along to Lamar Jackson when we set the market for Deshaun Watson? No, we're not, right? The market is what the market and the players have dictated. So I know what I can get for Rudy Gobert. I'm looking at Kevin Durant, even if you want to argue 1, 2, or 3, the best player in basketball. That is worth more than Rudy Gobert. I still feel like I'm slightly losing if I get something comparable to Rudy Gobert. So is Boston on the table? Jaylen Brown, Derek White, picks? It's not going to cut it for me. It's not going to give me the equivalent for that. No. You're going to have to play. We have to play.
Give you back your franchise, control of your franchise. Monica, so you guys are just, this is the way to go. He's a great player. Give him what he wants.
I didn't say give him what he wants.
Jay, I am more inclined to at least explore it in earnest. Sean Marks and Steve Nash cannot suit up, hon. Come on, like we're talking very basic level. And again, I keep going back to earlier in the season. I think if KD had a history of being a little bit more temperamental in terms of not showing up and being willing to play basketball, I would be a little bit more hesitant. But we know, one thing we know about KD is he loves the game of basketball and the opportunity to compete and have a chance to win. If this gives me a pathway there, I'm at least exploring it.
I'm saying David Blatt was LeBron James' head coach once, right?
I'm saying, Kenny Atkins, you know where we were in March 2020
I'm not
arguing
saying the
about Kenny
GM.
Atkins.
I'm not saying the GM, but I am.
I love these guys.
Talking coach.
The NFL, the NBA is in big trouble.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.